Just a reminder that this and all my other videos are made for adult doll collectors or adults buying dolls for others. This is not a video for children. Viewer discretion is advised. Thank you very much for listening.
Hello Internet! My name is Kelsey, and welcome back to my closet. So there has been so much juicy stuff all of a sudden this week, and we are definitely going to get to the big main thing, which is Monster High. But there are some other things that I wanted to talk about first, because I like to cover a little bit of everything on this channel. So let us get right into it. First things first, there is an update on something I already talked about, which is the Disney style series Jasmine. It turns out that she's going to be a special edition for the 30th anniversary of Aladdin. And first of all, that makes me feel really old because I'm gonna be 30 this year. But secondly, that also means that she's probably going to be more in the $50 price range rather than the regular range of a Disney style doll. We also got some more pictures of her box, and a release date of March 1st. And again, we already established she looks really good, but now that I know that she's going to be a limited edition, I do kind of wish that some of her jewelry was electroplated in gold rather than just gold in plastic, because I think that would have added an extra level of glamour and specialness to this doll. But I wouldn't say that she's that bad. I don't know if I'm willing to pay $50 for her, but in the past, the special edition style series dolls have been reduced in the various places that they've been sold. So if you're patient, you can wait it out and get her at a discount, which would be something that I would do if I do decide that I want to get her, but I'm still on the fence a little bit. Even though Aladdin is my favorite movie, I wouldn't say that I'm like a Jasmine fanatic. My favorite character from the movie is the genie. So if they made a genie style doll, that would be a different story, but that's never gonna happen. But yeah, I don't think she's a bad doll. I just kind of wish that she was a little bit more elevated, but I do really like the design. It's probably the best style series Jasmine that we've seen yet. So a while back, I had seen these concept arts that didn't seem quite like they were legitimate for Mermaid High. I also had posted, if you remember, an Amazon listing of a 2-pack for Mermaid High of a boy and a mystery girl doll. And this was supposedly part of a prom line. As it turns out, these are actually legit because we have these new pictures of this Mermaid High prom line. From the original post with the concept art, these characters are, once again, Finley, Ciara, and Oceana, as well as a new character named Xenia. And I have to ask, why isn't Mari in the line again? Because a lot of people brought that up with Spring Break, and yeah, I agree. It's very strange that they would take her out to replace her with a different character instead of just adding a 5th character onto that line. I don't understand why she got singled out as the one to be left out of these lines. But anyway, so this prom line looks fun. It looks like they're gonna come with skirts to complete their prom look. They have all new hairstyles. Of course, these pictures aren't the best, but we'll have to see if better pictures come out soon. Since it's a prom line, I'm guessing maybe it'll come around prom season that they'll actually be released. But being that they are coming with like extra outfits and accessory pieces, they're probably going to be at the original price point of $26.99 that the first wave of Mermaid High was. So since it turned out that this prom line is actually true, I suppose it's safe to share these other concept arts of a slumber party line, which once again feature Finley and Oceana, this time no Mari or Ciara, and have a new character named Hallie. And if these are really true, they do look pretty cute. It looks like they're gonna come with slippers, they're gonna have a little like beanbag chair of some kind, and sleep masks. So this should be a fun line, but again, I just don't understand why they're not including certain characters, but they must have some reasons. Next, there is another new doll line that's going to be coming out. They're called the Naturalistas, and you would assume, based on that name, that they were being done by Mattel, maybe in line with the Fashionistas, but they're actually made by Just Play, which is a company that makes hair durables. There are going to be 5 dolls in this line, and they're all going to have big textured hair, and styles that are pretty simple but very fashionable. Of course, they don't have a lot of points of articulation. They look to be in the same style as a fashionista, and probably they'd be around the same price point, I would guess. But they look really nice. And there's even one named Kelsey. I don't know which one because it doesn't label which one is which, but that's fun. It's really nice to see Just Play branching out past Hairdorables, and unfortunately, it seems like they're not making the Hairmazing dolls anymore, but to see that they're making other full-scale fashion dolls is a good sign. Maybe we'll get some fashion packs, maybe they'll be compatible with Barbie, and I definitely feel like you could head swap these onto made-to-move bodies, or other bodies, even maybe the Hairmazing bodies. On top of that, it's nice to see another doll line that's very focused on women of color, or people of color, although there are no male dolls yet in this line, but we don't really have a lot in that regard. The fresh dolls are really the only ones I can think of off the top of my head that focus solely on dolls of color, so good for Just Play, and I hope to see them succeed. So this seems like it's really early in the year to be revealing, but we already have pictures, official stock photo kind of pictures of the third signature pink doll in the Barbie collection. I feel like we took one step forward and 2 steps back. First of all, we have a Millie face. Secondly, this dress. Can somebody please explain to me what's going on here? I immediately kind of get vibes of Cinderella's gown that she tried to make herself, but not done as nicely. The ruffle around the middle and around the neck, it looks like she's being swallowed up by this dress. The color is nice. The material looks nice. It looks like a nice flowy, soft material, but the ruffles are just making it look really froofy like a poodle. I'm just not really feeling this one. It's not to say that she's going to be bad quality, but after we had such a home run with the second signature pink doll, seeing this one is kind of disappointing. Maybe if they got rid of the ruffle around the neck in the middle, but even then, I don't think I would be that excited to get a Silkstone doll that has a Millie face on it. And now, finally, we can go to the main event, the Monster High drop. Obviously, lots of people have already talked about this. Some people have even had the dolls to review already. I don't want to go on and on too much about my opinion because I'm sure a lot of what I'm going to say has been said to death. No pun intended. But I do want to give my opinion as somebody who's kind of on the fringe of Monster High because I didn't have them as a kid. They were just outside of my childhood doll days, and I've only started collecting them recently as an adult collector. And from that perspective, the Haute Couture dolls are really awesome. I think the designs are great. They really capture the aesthetic of each of the characters very well. Draculaura is absolutely my favorite, and I would really like to get her, but I hesitate at the $75 price point. And that's because I've heard in the past from other people that Monster High collector or Skullector dolls are not always way elevated above a regular Playline Monster High doll. And that's kind of the same logic that I have against Lily Chang from Rainbow High. And also, since I brought Rainbow High up, let me just say that I think it was really annoying that they had to post their own little, oh, we can keep a secret thing when the Monster High post dropped. First of all, why is it always a competition? And second of all, we all know about Shadow High already. We may not have seen it officially, but we know it's coming, so it's not really that much of a secret, but I digress. I think part of the reason why I might be more willing to go for one of these Monster High dolls is because Monster High was well established. They already had collector versions of their dolls in the past because they were big enough to be at Comic-Con and have more of an impact on the doll industry as a whole to kind of warrant this. And being that this is a big reboot celebration sort of thing, it makes more sense to have collector dolls. Plus, the Monster High collector dolls have always been more limited than Rainbow High collector dolls that they've been trying to get us to get. Because even though the numbered versions of Jet and Lily are limited, you can still get them. They're not impossible to find. I still see Jet on the shelves now and then. Plus, Rainbow High hasn't been around that long, so I don't feel like they have earned the right to make collector dolls, if that makes sense. That's kind of my logic about why I might be more willing to get one of these dolls over Lily. And also, it would be my first ever new Monster High doll, which would be fun. But like I said, I don't want to go on about them too much because everyone is talking about them. What I do want to share about Monster High is a little bit more detail on the lineup of what we're going to get for this year. I had already shared some DPCIs that had been dug up for the basic and black and white Monster High dolls that were supposed to be $25. And this is going to be more like the Playline general kind of Monster High dolls that they're reintroducing to the market. And these are supposedly brand new designs because they're not called reproductions, so this should be interesting. It should be fun to see what kind of new designs they come up with. But we're going to have the main 6 ghouls in this basic line. The black and white line, there are supposedly 3 dolls, but there could be more, and it doesn't say what dolls they are. Then there's going to be reproductions, which are marketed as high-end reproductions. This is going to be of the first editions of Frankie, Draculaura, Claudine, and Laguna. Doesn't say how much these are going to be or when we can expect them, or any of these really, but I wouldn't be surprised if they were in like a $50 to $100 price range, depending on how high-end, quote-unquote, that they make them. Also, they're supposedly going to be available internationally, which I know is always a struggle for a lot of doll collectors because a lot of things only come out in the US and other countries have to wait for a long time if they ever get them at all. There's also going to be a Coffin Bean playset. Doesn't say whether this is going to be an exact reproduction of the original Coffin Bean, but maybe it'll be an updated version, who knows. That's going to be $40. We're also going to get a 2-pack of Frankie and Deuce for $50. Then there's also going to be a line of budget dolls at $12, which I find really interesting because for a reboot line, a redoing of a line that already existed, you would think they would aim more towards the older nostalgic fans who are still collecting or just want to recollect some things that they had in the past. But instead it seems like they're really trying to reintroduce Monster High into the market and make it like a permanent staple doll line. And they're considering that new generations of ghouls and mansters will be getting into these dolls and growing up with them. And finally, there's going to be some Skelectors, but those I'm sure we're not going to see much detail about until they're much, much closer to being released. So I'm really excited because again, I didn't have Monster High growing up. I haven't really collected too many. I think I only have like 6 right now of old Monster High dolls, so I'm really excited to be able to really dig deep into this line as like a new fan. But anyway guys, that is everything I wanted to talk about today. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, share the video with your friends, and until next time, bye!